Welcome back to the Superhero Bro Show. We are the Super Bros. I'm Danny.
I'm Bryant.
Yeah.
So, want to talk about last week and the week before that? Actually, we've had some
Ups and downs.
ups and downs. We hit our downs finally. I mean, first 3 weeks went smoothly.
Yeah.
2 weeks went smoothly.
So when we were supposed to film, 2 weeks ago, had some own personal stuff, had to get taken care of.
That was 2 weeks ago. Was the mess up recording? We recorded.
Oh, 2 weeks ago was the mess up?
Yeah.
Oh.
So our cameras stopped recording midway through, so it was all audio, and the camera quality wasn't working in my software. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Yep.
So if you want to watch our TMNT review and you want to watch all of that, and if you're here on YouTube, go to Spotify to listen to that. And if you're on Spotify, you're good. You saw
TikTok,
you saw the episode.
Have the clip.
And TikTok, yeah. You saw our clips. We've been uploading clips. We have a new TikTok account uploading clips.
The Superhero Bro Show.
Superhero Bro Show.
Also Patreon / Superhero. The Superhero Bro Show.
Superhero. We haven't uploaded anything on there yet. We need to start uploading on there.
Because we need some Patreons.
You need some Patreons on there. So, sign up. They don't hear you. You're whispering.
Give us your money.
They might not even still hear that.
Give us your money.
So yeah, and then last week, we just never lined up. Danny was doing some things with family. I was going to Flagstaff. I feel like I go to Flagstaff all the time. But we're here. We're recording this week.
Yep.
Getting this episode out.
Started at the school this week.
Yep. So if you recall back, remember we were talking about how you wanted to be a baseball coach when we said basketball or baseball and this or that. Now he's working with me at my job at the school. So we actually work together now. Our schedules are aligned. You're going to see a lot more of us, basically.
Yep.
We actually just did a Funko Pop trip to Vegas, if you saw the vlog on our TikTok. So
Yep. Should be good.
yeah. I think we just jump right into it.
Alrighty.
So we have a new segment this podcast. It's called a 5-film follow-up. So we're going to give a 1 through 10 on random films that the other person picked for us, trying to just give you guys an idea of what we rate certain films that you may not have heard us talk about yet on the show.
And then do you want to do your 5 and then my 5?
Yeah, we can do that, but that's later in the podcast, so we don't have to worry about that too much right now. We're going to start off with Kiwi News, because we got a lot. We got about 3 weeks worth, because
we haven't
been doing it. Kind of took out non-important stuff really and just kind of kept it all stuff that we should talk about. Starting off, X-Men 97. You heard about that show, right?
Yes.
Animated show coming out soon. The episode 1 is going to feature Sentinel. So we might start off with some Sentinels as some bad guys in the show. I feel like they haven't gotten anything really big yet. They had one of my favorite X-Men movies, Days of Future Past, is that one with Sentinels as the bad guys in that. But I don't know. It was still, they didn't look right. They didn't look like Sentinels. So hopefully we get some good Sentinels in the show. Anything like the old animated series, I have faith in it. So that's something. So we talked about Jonathan Majors and his whole court case going on.
Yep.
His accuser, the woman that's accusing him, has fled the country now. So it's kind of looking good for him. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's all playing out, obviously. Whoever's in the fault there should be in the fault.
And we're not trying to give our full opinion on the situation because only really they know what's going on. But at the same time, you accuse someone and then
leave the country, it just looks suspicious. Let's play through this. Honestly, we have a lot, so let's just do it. An insider in Disney has said that the Fantastic Four script is a disaster. It's not.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang.
But writer strikes happening. Pay the writers.
Pay the writers.
Pay the actors.
And the actors. More importantly, pay us, the Superhero Bro Show.
Patreon. That every time we say that.
Not more importantly, by the way. Just
more important.
They pay them as well, but because they're the reason.
Shame on you. But they said it's not looking good, and that's maybe even why some actors have fell out of the project. But if they're getting new writers, they're paying people to come in and write it, and it improves. Good. I want a good Fantastic Four movie. Please just give us a good. There's some my favorite comic characters from Marvel, and we still haven't gotten them good in film yet. So that'd be cool though. Remember last week, or now it's 2 weeks ago, we talked about Tatiana Maslany, She-Hulk, and her reaction to Bob Iger's comments. This kind of goes on to the writing strike as well. She is now rumored to be fired over her comments towards Bob Iger. So we might not see her as She-Hulk anymore in the MCU. It's rumored though, not confirmed, just rumored.
So I wasn't the biggest fan of She-Hulk.
Me neither, but
as a show, but I think that's just wrong.
I mean, honestly, I don't blame her as She-Hulk at all. Like, it was kind of mostly the writing and how they handled certain parts of that show.
Yeah.
But it wasn't her fault. I think she was actually a good She-Hulk. Like,
no, I think as a She-Hulk, she was good in the show. I just wasn't a big fan. But firing someone just because they make comments you don't like, I think that's just not right.
What kind of example are you setting at that point?
Yeah, honestly.
So, we have a lot of Deadpool 3 news. So it's all spread out in here too. So we're gonna start off with our first Deadpool 3 news. We're hearing two things about a Deadpool villain. We have the first news for it being that it's rumored that the main villain is going to be someone we know in the MCU. Mm-hmm. It's a character we know. Could be Ultron, could be Wanda, there's a lot of characters in the MCU, right? Mm-hmm. So it could be any of them. I don't know who it's going to be, but that'd be cool.
I mean, is Wanda still a villain?
I couldn't tell you, but imagine they do. What if they do House of M? What if she creates this new universe after she left, and Deadpool and Wolverine end up in that universe, and she has a control over Wolverine? That's why they're fighting. He snaps him out, something like that, And
that's why. I'm still hoping for the Deadpool kills the fox.
Yes. I'm looking back, and I watched some of my old TikTok videos, and I found an old video of me literally saying, imagine if Kevin Feige pulls this off and it's Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. I'm pointing at, I'm like, if he does this for Deadpool 3, and all the comments are like, nah, no, they can't do that. I'm like, now I'm looking back, I'm like, it's literally happening.
Yeah.
Like the TikTok audio was like, what did I say?
Yeah.
What did I say? That's what it would be me if it happens. We talked about Stephen Amell and how his reaction to the strike. Actually, I just saw he's out there protesting.
He's on the picket line.
Yeah, he's on the picket lines protesting after that. We also have another DC actor coming out and saying the strike is dumb, and that's Zachary Levi, Shazam. Also maybe ruining his career by coming out and saying that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it might be a hot take in and of itself, but I liked Shazam, and I just feel like him doing that now, it's just, it could potentially ruin his career. And
we'll see if James Gunn even brings it back.
Can I see Steve Amell just doing that? I think looks worse, because instead of standing by what he said, he's
well, maybe I also look at it he took the critiques and is learning from it in a way. You know what I mean? He understands. He was like, okay, he listened it out. He heard what people had to say, and he's trying to change for the better in a way. So it could be a good thing. So maybe Zachary Levi will be out there on the picket lines with them next to each other. So after The Flash, there was that rumor that Batman Beyond was going to be a film made with Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne teaching the younger Batman coming up, right? Mm-hmm. And that was apparently scrapped because of how bad The Flash did. Now new rumors and insiders are coming out saying that James Gunn is actually looking to try to make that happen again, making a Batman Beyond film with Michael Keaton training a new Batman. You ever watched the Batman Beyond animated show?
Yeah. I think that could be good.
I think a live action would be pretty cool if they actually pull it off.
Just scrap the Flash though at this point, because if you have to make an NFT to try and make money, come on.
It just actually said, I think I saw somewhere that it's the biggest Warner Brothers film flop of all time.
Crazy.
So hopefully Blue Beetle hasn't done that yet.
Blue Beetle has great reviews so far.
Yeah. We were gonna go see it. We just didn't find time. We went to Vegas instead during a freaking hurricane. Hillary is freaking hitting us bad.
Yeah. We're in Arizona.
We're in Arizona, right there on the outskirts of it. But so it's hitting us bad, but not too bad. Hopefully everything goes good in
That's
California.
if you guys hear any raindrops or anything.
Or in a metal building.
So
yeah, you'll hear it in the background. Next news was old because we were supposed to film with this news before, but Spider-Man Lotus is out. Have you heard about that movie?
Yeah, I did see. I've seen it on TikTok.
Apparently it's not good.
Yeah.
Apparently it is not good. Yeah. I saw a clip with Shocker. I'm like, obviously for a fan film, sure, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. But if your actor is going to be straight up a racist on Twitter and it's still going to be a bad movie, I ain't going to watch it.
Yeah. The problem is that I think everybody kind of is holding it to the Marvel standard.
Yes.
Because they expected it to be way better than it is.
And people were coming out beforehand and saying this is going to be better than No Way Home. And no.
And I'm not even a big fan of No Way Home.
I know.
Like,
I'm not gonna watch it. I don't think.
Yeah,
it's 2 hours. I hear it's very slow. Like, you don't get much Spider-Man. It's more Peter Parker, which is cool. But at the same time, give me Tom Holland doing that instead of a racist guy that's making comments on Twitter. I don't even know his name, and that might be a good thing.
Yeah.
You send me this on TikTok. Literally, I think like 5 minutes after I typed it in my notes for the pod, Sydney Sweeney is confirmed to be playing Spider-Woman in Madame Web. How do you feel about that? Do you watch Euphoria?
I loved Euphoria.
Okay, I haven't watched Euphoria, so I don't, like, I've never seen her in anything, but I hear she's a good actress in that show, so.
I really liked her as an actress, and I think she could, but unfortunately, that's the only thing that I've seen her in, acting, so I don't know. I mean, it'll be an interesting role, to say the least.
And it's a Sony movie, so I'm not, once again, my hopes are not high.
Yeah.
So you never know what's going to happen with it. If they do a cool story, imagine the most random thing, like Madame Web is the best Sony Spider-Man movie. I feel like that'd be
funny.
Like, out of all the movies they've released, like, honestly, the trailer for Morbius got me hyped. I was like, okay.
The trailer looked good.
And then it was bad.
And then it was dog.
Now the Craven trailer came out. It looks bad off the trailer. It looked bad off the trailer. Because, and plus, I mean, you said this on your TikTok, but like, the posters were like the typical, like, throne pose, and like it just looks Black Adam did it. Boba Fett did it. I don't know. It's just basic to me. This movie just looks basic. That movie, at least.
Not to mention, I like him playing Craven. He just looks small.
Yeah, dude. I've always said Gerard Butler is my Craven. I want to see him as Craven. He would be an awesome Craven, but it's probably never gonna happen.
Like Sebum as Craven, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
or Jason Momoa, but he's Aquaman. But just give me a big brooding dude.
Yeah.
Like, but I honestly, Aaron Taylor Johnson's a great actor, so I'm giving him a chance.
Jason Momoa, yeah.
He's also seems like a good Lobo, but
yeah,
I also like Dave Bautista as Lobo. Who knows? I Am Groot is receiving a second season. They released a little trailer for it. Did you ever watch those shorts, the first ones?
I watched a couple. I just wasn't a big fan.
It's like little kid shorts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's nothing special. The Watcher's in the background of it, though, so it might have some connection to What If. But yeah, I mean, I'll watch it. I watched the first ones, and there was that one episode that was really funny with the little tiny people, and he's like attacking them in a way. It was pretty funny, but who knows? We'll see. I'll probably watch them, but it's not going to be anything like top tier. Imagine it's just top tier MCU.
Top tier, like best fight scene.
I know, Groot just messing up some aliens. Loki Season 2 had a trailer, as well as it is now the most streamed Disney Plus exclusive trailer on YouTube. So it's going to be big.
I just hope, this is always my fear, because the reason why it's hard for me to invest in the TV shows is because the first season almost always is so good, and then the second season is...
some shows, like, first seasons, like, I'll bring up two I can think of off the top of my head. Breaking Bad, and I just had it, and I just totally lost. Umbrella Academy.
Okay, one, did not really like the Umbrella Academy, like, at all. I mean, we kind of talked about this yesterday. I just wasn't the big fan of it. Like, I just couldn't...
Third season sucks. First season's, like, good.
Yeah.
Second season, like, amazing. It's like one of my favorite seasons.
It just wasn't really for me. With Breaking Bad, I liked it since the beginning. Sure, it was a little slow.
First season's a little bit slow, but it's interesting. But I mean, you can't, like, first season compared to fifth, fourth, and sixth season. It's just not
for sure.
Second season, it's almost like the same thing, but a little bit picks up a little bit. Like, you have Hank and Tuco and stuff like that happening. So, I mean, season 2 is like, that's one show I could just think of. Who knows? Season 2 could be better than the first. So we talked about our Fantastic Four, the Fantastic Four cast that's basically confirmed at this point, but we don't have a Mr. Fantastic yet. And we talked about Margot Robbie and Adam Driver possibly being those two, and they dropped out. Actually, rumors are saying that Adam Driver is still maybe in talks. He's still trying to maybe come in as Mr. Fantastic.
I can see Adam Driver as Mr. Fantastic. I just could not see Adam Driver and Margot Robbie
being together.
Like,
well, he was with Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story, so...
Yeah, no, I just don't see that, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I get you.
So I think that he could still work. Obviously, just...
And they have I've never seen her in anything besides Mission Impossible, but she's playing Invisible Woman. I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but I could see them too.
Yeah.
Actually, it's so weird, like, how that works, some people
some people just fit.
Yeah. and like you can cast good with that, you know. Andrew Garfield says that the Amazing Spider-Man story is not over, but it is being explored off screen. We don't know what's happening, but you know, obviously he's doing some adventures, but it's just kind of cool to see like him talking about his movies, you know, and calling back to those. I'll just kind of jump into this news while we're talking about him though. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire met with Tom Holland, Kevin Feige before the strike on returning to be in Secret Wars. So we might see him come back.
I would love that.
Yeah. Imagine Tobey and Hugh Jackman teaming up.
And I just don't want it to be like a No Way Home situation.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
Where,
well, it's you got to expect that for that movie.
No, for sure, but I want it to be more like a Endgame, you know, and like portal scene type thing.
So wait, let me get this right. You think No Way Home is total nostalgia, but you don't think an Avengers movie where they time travel back to the old movies and all come in together for him to say Avengers Assemble, him lifting Mjolnir and all that, that's not nostalgia?
It's nostalgia, but it's iconic.
And No Way Home is not iconic.
No. Because
No Way Home is not.
They're fighting each of their villains. So my favorite scene of No Way Home, the only part is like that I think that like ties together the nostalgia and like current events very well, is when MJ's fucking falling down in the building.
And Andrew saves her.
But
that's nostalgia.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think it ties nostalgia and the current good in that moment. But I just feel like the only thing that made that movie good was nostalgia. Endgame was good without nostalgia.
So you're telling me seeing Tobey Maguire and Doc Ock is nostalgia, right? Seeing them together again, but him saying, you know, trying to do better as like a callback, that's not...
That is nostalgia.
It's nostalgia.
Avengers Assemble is something that he has said in every movie. It doesn't have to...
He's never said it. He's never said it before. The only time he's almost said it is in Age of Ultron at the end. He says, Avengers, and he breathes in, but he never says it. That's why it's such a big moment when he says it in that movie.
So then it's not nostalgia. So that just takes your argument away. Because you're trying to say that Endgame was straight nostalgia because of Avengers Assemble and when they all came through the portal scene. But if he's never said
every single character in the MCU from the past 10 years of that creation, that's nostalgia.
No, it is not.
What's your definition of this nostalgia?
Nostalgia is something that brings you back to like the good old days, or something that reminds you of like something from the past. They're all the only like the thing that I see is that they all got snapped away. They're all back now. The only part that I can really see that's nostalgia maybe is like going in the past and bringing back, you know, Gamora.
Yeah,
and
the
like,
first
like
2 hours of that movie are nostalgia. That last hour, you can agree.
It's not nostalgia because it brings in new aspects. Like
so
Loki disappears with the Tesseract. Like
what was the word you described? Endgame that No Way Home isn't. What was the word you said? It's not nostalgia. It's, I forgot what you totally said, but I was thinking like, but I was trying to bring that word back up because that's exactly what No Way Home is. I don't know what you said. I can't remember what you said off the top of my head.
Endgame's great, but Endgame's good.
Endgame or No Way Home?
Endgame.
Okay. But Endgame's not nostalgia to you.
I said it has aspects of nostalgia.
And so does No Way Home. No Way Home's not fully nostalgia.
It's fully nostalgia. It brings back villains from all the old movies. All villains from the old movies.
So, that may be right, where you may have a point there, right?
The entire film is nostalgia. Brings back the Amazing Spider-Man. Brings back Tobey, the best Spider-Man. It is all nostalgia. No Way Home is all nostalgia. The entire movie.
So you're saying
the whole thing in No Way Home is can you make everyone forget about this past part? And then it doesn't happen. And then guess who shows up on a bridge when he's trying to it's all nostalgia. No Way Home is all nostalgia. Endgame is like capping off that series. I
just want to ask you something. So is Tom Holland, is Spider-Man this movie, if it wasn't Tobey and Andrew showing up, if it was a different villain, let's say that we got maybe a Kraven
he doesn't
story.
have the same character arc.
He doesn't have the same character arc. You could give it to him without bringing in those two as well. So you think it would it'd be a bad movie? It wouldn't.
I don't think it would have been a good movie without them.
You think the only reason that people consider it a good movie is because they show up?
Yeah. Because if you look at any media leading up to that movie, it was all hyping up the fact that Toby and Andrew.
Knew.
What do you mean? What do you mean no one knew? Everyone knew. I knew they were gonna. No. They thought it, but then when IMDb put up the official thing, the cast on there showed Andrew and Toby. It showed Andrew and Toby on the cast. That was a proven thing.
Random people on the internet put the casting in for IMDb, right? It's not actually like people officially putting it in.
I am telling you that everybody knew Andrew and Toby were in it. At least, okay, I'll change it. Everyone was hoping Andrew and Toby were in it, and that's like one of the main reasons they went to go see No Way Home was because of nostalgia and Andrew and Toby. That is the only reason why I went to go see No Way Home.
So you're telling me you wouldn't have saw the Spider-Man movie, just a Spider-Man movie, if it wasn't for them to be in it?
Don't get me wrong. I probably would have seen it, but I wouldn't have been like as ecstatic about it because of Toby and Andrew.
I'm telling you, Tom Holland movie, that movie, No Way Home, could have still been good. Let's say they did a Craven storyline.
It would have been nowhere near as peak without Toby and Andrew in that movie.
John Watts, the director, has created some good Spider-Man movies. You don't like Homecoming?
It was okay.
You don't like Far From Home?
Yeah, it was okay.
So he's given us good Spider-Man movies is what I'm saying. Why couldn't you have done that again without those two?
It would have just been another good Spider-Man movie. No Way Home was a great Spider-Man movie because of Toby and Andrew.
So, but you say that and then you follow it up with, I don't like No Way Home because it's too nostalgia-based.
Because it is only good because of Toby and Andrew.
So you're telling me you wouldn't go watch No Way Home right now?
No. And that's me being 100% honest. I would not go watch No Way Home again because I only wanted to see it mainly because of Toby and Andrew.
4 times in theaters.
The Toby and Andrew.
No, literally.
Your logic for like Tom's story arc just makes no sense. He would have had no character development without Osborn killing Aunt May. I think you're forgetting all of that.
No, actually, I think you helped prove my point there. You were bringing up points that those characters affected a story that we were building with Tom. That's not nostalgia based. That's those characters coming in and aiding this story.
Because of nostalgia, they're making it good. Old characters are making your new Spider-Man good.
So what if Craven killed her? What if we had a Craven character kill her? He would still go through the same storyline.
No, because who's going to be there to help him? Not the old Spider-Man. It's going to be some dumbass on the corner trying to help him out. It wouldn't have been Toby and Andrew trying to help him and guide him through because they've faced so much sorrow and loss. It's not the same. That movie is nowhere near the same without them.
Agreed.
Patreon / the Superhero Bro Show.
Agree to disagree. No Way Home. Okay. No Way Home it's just going to be, I don't think we'll ever change each other's minds on that. I think No Way Home is great, and I think it could have still been great.
I think it is a great Spider-Man movie, but it is only a great Spider-Man movie because of Toby and Andrew.
And you don't like it.
Agree to disagree.
I just want to know, even though we're doing the segment later, final follow-up, what do you rate it out of 10?
What do I rate out of 10?
Yes.
3, 2,
throw in
1.
Throw in nostalgia if you want. Don't throw in nostalgia. Just what do you
So with nostalgia, probably like an 8.5.
Okay.
Without nostalgia, probably like a 6.5.
So it's still over, like, it's not mid. It's like...
No, I'd say it's around, it's like slightly better than mid.
So you would still like watch it. So that's what I'm curious for.
No, because I'm saying without nostalgia. Without nostalgia, you take away Andrew and Toby, and it's probably just going to be slightly above mid, like Homecoming and Far From Home.
Not close to mid, but...
Yeah, it is mid.
It is not.
Okay, agree to disagree. We got to keep with we got way on topic there.
That was our longest, I think, argument yet. Echo Disney Plus series will give Echo powers. He's gonna have powers in the show. What's the superhero show? Her hand tattoo apparently is gonna give her extreme strength, and like it's gonna glow when she gets strength.
Yeah.
Who's gonna watch that show besides Marvel fans? We're Marvel fans though. So, Bill Foster remember the character from Ant-Man and the Wasp? He was the Hank Pym's like nemesis that helped Ghost out.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna appear in What If as Goliath, his comic book character, and actually the little minifigures that they're releasing for Lego Marvel was what released that. They kind of hinted at that for the next season, which is pretty cool. He's got like an Ant-Man suit, but it's blue, so it's gonna be pretty cool to see actually.
Actually loved Goliath in the comics.
Yeah. Marvel is going to be reshuffling their slate. Release dates are going to change the board because of the writer's strike.
Yeah.
Deadpool 3 is now moved from 2024. Its release marker is now going to be delayed. What else is? I mean, they're pushing everything back. Like everything's just going to move back a bit.
You have to expect that until there's a resolution or.
And I think what I just heard is they're actually Disney's starting to work some contracts out with some people. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so that's good. From what I know now. So remember how I talked about it might be an MCU character coming back for Deadpool 3 as the villain?
Mm-hmm.
We also have Emma Corrin, who is rumored to be playing Cassandra Nova in Deadpool 3, who is Charles Xavier's evil twin. I don't know anything about this character. I've never heard of this character before. But if they do it right, that sounds pretty cool. Like
it does, but I wonder what that entails. I mean, because you kind of have to kill her off, right? If she is that character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't really make a story out, like
Imagine like Deadpool and Wolverine teaming up to fight something like that would be cool though too.
That would actually be a really cool villain. And actually, if they teamed up to, like at first, Deadpool's like,
and I think just because Wolverine was so close to Charles Xavier and Logan, it would be a pretty like, it's his twin sister, obviously. Yeah. So it'd be some story to definitely.
Just picture like him bald or like just like his face and then like hair.
I think she's bald too, actually. So they're both gonna be bald.
Okay.
It looks menacing. We also talked about Taylor Swift, how she's rumored to be coming in to be playing Deadpool, Lady Deadpool in Deadpool 3. We said maybe Gwenpool. It's actually changed. Do you know the character Dazzler? She is a singer who projects like light, like powers when she sings. And it is like this blonde girl wearing like sparkling. Like,
I think that's cool, but it's a little like cliche. Like, you know what I mean?
It's supposed to be just a cameo, but still that's
okay. If it's just a cameo, then okay. But like if it's like a full blown character, I don't know if I like 100% like that.
If you're gonna bring her in, that's literally the perfect Marvel character to bring her in as. And her and Ryan Reynolds get along pretty well. Yeah. I think they're pretty good friends, to my knowledge. So, I mean, let's do it. I'm a Swiftie, I'll say it. So let's do it. Let's do it. We were listening to Taylor Swift on the way home, and Danny was kind of listening to it. I'm just going to say, but I wasn't supposed to bring that up on Danny.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you don't.
Was there any recordings?
No, there wasn't any recordings.
So there's no proof, so.
He was getting into it. Don't let him fool you.
There's no proof, so.
So yeah, we have a Superman Legacy, getting into a bit of DC right now. Brainiac is rumored to be the main villain of Superman Legacy. Please. We have not gotten Brainiac yet, like a good Brainiac. I think we've gotten like in Lego games and like.
Yeah, like Lego games,
Smallville
Lego movies, maybe. Was there a Brainiac in the CW Supergirl?
I think so. Oh yeah, it was super weird. Yeah. It wasn't even like an alien. It was super weird.
Human, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Give me a good Brainiac, and
that would be sick. And I think James Gunn could do it.
That's totally James Gunn, like Alien, Guardians of the Galaxy type.
Yeah, I want James Gunn to run the DC universe because obviously the DC universe is more dark than like Marvel. I would love him to run it like even like Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
He does like Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Where it's comical but still dark at the same time. Yeah, I get you. I actually put this in here today before we recorded because I found this out. Thor 5 is apparently being developed with rumors saying Taika Waititi is returning to direct the film. Fans are going to be pissed. Fans, like, we have our opinion on Thor Love and Thunder. It's not as bad as people say it, to at least what we think. But bringing him back after people are like, no, don't bring him back, is just going to piss people off. I think they should bring him back. I think
he deserves another chance.
What happened with that film is he liked Ragnarok and almost ran to Ragnarok. He liked too much of it in Love and Thunder. But what he needs to do is just kind of take that little step back to where he was in Ragnarok and make another Thor film, and it will be good.
Yep.
Like, Ragnarok's probably top 10 MCU, if not top 5.
I would agree. Ragnarok's amazing.
And he handled Hulk really well, I think, in that show before he got blown to oblivion by the Russo brothers and Endgame. But, we also have DC again. Peacemaker Season 2 is to begin production immediately after Superman Legacy.
Okay.
Did you watch Peacemaker?
I watched it a little bit. Honestly, there's so many shows that I'm backed up.
Yeah, I got you. Invincible's another one you need to watch.
No,
he actually just started. You can see her Funko Pop stuff. We started Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I've already finished it. It's one of my favorite shows, like, all time.
We started it last night when we got back.
Yeah, and then this morning before we were recording, while I was setting up, he was over there watching it. We're on like episode 6 of season 1 now, so it is what it is. Deadpool 3. These are the list of possible rumored cameos. We have Taylor Swift as Dazzler, which we talked about. X-23, the little girl from Logan, might be coming back. Dr. Doom from the original Fantastic Four movies. Taron Egerton as a Wolverine variant, like the fan cast Wolverine. They'll do what they did with John Krasinski, basically. Mm-hmm. And Tom Hiddleston's Loki are all rumored to be cameo in this movie.
Loki, I'm excited for.
Mm-hmm. Taron Egerton, that's my fan cast for Wolverine.
But if they're bringing all those in,
killing them all.
Kill them all.
Oh my! Imagine the Swifties that go, "I'm gonna go see Deadpool. Taylor Swift's gonna be in it," and then
just like mid note, just
and just imagine the jokes you would make. Like he's sing something, walking away, or if like he's like crossing off names on his list. He's like, "I got a blank space." All right, your name, something like that. He'd come up with something. Ryan Reynolds is good like that.
Oh no.
The Last Ronin trailer, the game came out. Last Ronin. I kind of out of frame, I think, but I have my comic I just started here.
Dude, oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I know. I'm getting my PS5.
Yeah.
You're getting that when it comes out. It's going to be awesome. So that's cool.
Last Ronin. And
it's like my favorite Ninja Turtle story, I think.
No, for sure.
They haven't done yet, really.
Because it kind of brings you away from like the typical like Ninja Turtles, which is like kind of upbeat a little bit.
And they actually talked to the cast of Mutant Mayhem, the 4 teenagers that are playing the Turtles, and they're like, "The Last Ronin, we need to talk about it." And they're like, "Oh, like they're totally into it." They're like, "Yeah, I love that comic and stuff." And the guy goes, "What are the possibilities? Do you think it could be imagine, let's say years down the line, we want a Last Ronin movie when you guys are a bit older, and you have that like the characters have matured a bit, and we get that movie with Michelangelo. You guys would still all be in it because in the comics, the turtles are like voices in his head that talk to him, and they appear as like shadow ghosts almost. Yeah. So they would all be in it, and it would be like a darker animated, which I don't know if they could do PG like how it is now, but
it would. Well, I feel like The Last Ronin is at minimum PG-13, if not.
So it would just be weird if they made a bunch of PG movies and then switched it, for one movie. So I couldn't see them doing it.
I could see a PG-13
if
it went from PG to PG-13.
Maybe.
But I mean, that'd be sick, but I just can't see them playing.
Imagine like an older version of him.
I still can't, it's with the Mutant Mayhem, I just love that depiction and I want it to stay that way. I don't want to see the...
Yeah, but I'm saying maybe like, I would love to see it like maybe 4 movies down the line, give us 3 more movies of these characters, let them mature a bit, maybe like Splinter dies and they go through something. I know, like they go through it. Like
Jackie Chan.
Yeah. And it would be cool. I actually saw I sent it to you on TikTok. You need to watch it if you haven't yet. Like a fan written story of Ninja Turtles and how he drew up how they look in his version of the cartoon, and it's really cool. It's like Shredder's like this cat version, but it's like, and him and Splinter were trained like special ops characters going into like missions together, but they have a falling out when Splinter realizes what he's doing is wrong, and Shredder's totally for it.
And Shredder's just like committing war crimes.
And it's like a cat-mouse almost relationship, but he's got like a metal armor over. He's a tiger is what he is, and it's like a metal armor over. It looks really like, it sounds stupid now, but it sounds really cool. Following it up with we had a rumor going around on TikTok I wanted to call out right now. Elizabeth Olsen is apparently leaving Marvel because of a book that literally changed a picture from her being the main cover to Loki being the main cover with Sylvie. It's just a book. That she's not leaving Marvel. That's a fake report based off of a book title changing. That's not happening. Obviously, her character's dead after Multiverse of Madness, so why do you even care?
Yeah.
Like, even if she doesn't come back, like, isn't that what dead means? Like,
yeah.
So, like, I don't get why people are kind of freaking out about that. But that's my last piece of news, so.
Alrighty. What are we getting into?
Bros become foes.
Alrighty.
Got your character?
I think I went first last time.
I can go it off. Okay. I didn't go with anyone too crazy strong this week. I kind of went more street level in a sort of way to kind of see maybe, I'll give you that last win because you won last week.
Yeah.
You won last week with Pennywise versus Darth Maul. Darth Maul took the win. So I'm 2-1.
Yeah, it was them. Yeah.
I'm 2-1.
Yep.
Maybe he'll win because he's going to pull out like crazy character right now against my character, Moon Knight.
Okay.
I do it like street level. He's one of my favorite. He's probably my favorite comic character. So what do you got?
So I went kind of out of the norm because with these characters, we can choose any character from like any show.
Oh, where are you going?
Thing. I chose Bugs Bunny. Imagine a Toon versus Moon Knight.
Moon Knight versus Bugs Bunny.
It'd just be like a fever dream.
Fever dream. Bugs Bunny whips out his giant hand.
Yeah.
What's up, guy? And he's throwing his.
I don't even know how we like debate this one.
Debate this one.
Actually, you don't.
Like, Moon Knight wins.
But Bugs Bunny just can do whatever he wants. He's a 10.
Just
pulls out a nuke.
You know what? At the same time, Bugs Bunny just pulling out a nuke.
What's up, Doc?
I know. Oh.
So
Then Khonshu brings him back to life after he gets blown up by the nuke. Is Moon Knight like a tune? Like he's just...
Wait, but like I said, Bugs Bunny is a toon, and they depict all kinds of different types of characters. Can Bugs Bunny, like, as a toon, become like a god? Like Khonshu?
Just become like Amit and just fight Khonshu himself. You know, that's a good point. But I think, you know, if you look at it, it's literally a superhero versus a rabbit. If you look at it,
it's not just a rabbit.
It's Bugs Bunny. I get what you're saying.
He's a toon. This one's like really hard to debate though, because it's like,
yeah,
I think Bugs Bunny wins.
I think Moon Knight wins. I think Moon Knight, I mean, he's one of the better fighters, I think. I think he's got really cool gadgets. He's got money. And at least comic version's got money.
But, I mean, Bugs Bunny's got whatever he wants. So.
It's true. But
and plus,
I'm going to say, if you're looking at Moon Knight, it's rabbit season. That was hard. Tell me that wasn't hard.
Make an edit.
No.
Patreon. Sash superhero budget.
What is it? Bugs Bunny versus Moon Knight edit.
What's up, Doc?
Mark, come back. Bugs Bunny. It'd be the stupidest thing ever.
Dude, let us know if you want us to make that edit.
On Spotify, if you look down below in the poll, you can vote for who just won that, Bugs Bunny versus Moon Knight. Also, if you are subscribed to our Patreon, it's there in the Patreon. You get 5 votes per category. So you get, honestly, at this point in the podcast. Yeah,
if one of you guys votes, you pretty much win one of us. Yeah.
So, you know, if you want it, if you're really persistent that one of us should have won there, you'll vote.
Yep.
That was Bros Become Foes. Let's get into our new segment, 5 film follow-up. We give each other 5 films, and off of that, we just kind of rate it and kind of give our opinions on it. Just something real quick, like nothing a deep review of the movies, you know. I'll say mine first, and you say your first one, and we'll go in order that order. My first one is Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay. It's out of 10?
Out of 10, yes.
3, 2, 1, 7.
You have a 7?
Yeah.
So that's actually higher than I thought you were going to vote for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. You can't deny that. Like, I know there's a lot of hate, but like...
A lot of hate.
But like, at the same time, it's funny.
It is funny. It's almost like Spider-Man 3, but I've been preaching this. I'm going to start like YouTube videos on film essays of movies and stuff on my channel. The spot in Across the Spider-Verse is how Electro should have been. Like if they did Electro on a spot version, he would have been
a little bit awkward. But at the same time,
like learning while he's doing testing, overpowering himself, you know, with power to a point where he becomes like crazy powerful.
I will say that is the one thing I liked about No Way Home. Was that I feel like they did that a little bit.
They did Electro good in that movie.
They did him good in the sense of like, he was like nervous, not really confident in himself. But when he was Electro, he was like powerful and knew like what he had. So I like that.
Which is cool. So, I mean, I think I'd go maybe just a 6, so like right below you, but I do like that movie too. What's your first one?
Quantumania.
This is hard. Okay, I'm going to go with a 5. I think 5 or 6. 5.5. 5.5.
That's about where I am at because there's mainly like one good aspect.
Yeah, and Kang.
Yeah, and
I rewatched it. First time I watched it, I really liked it. I'm like, okay, this isn't top tier, but this is still the best Ant-Man movie, a good movie. Rewatching it very hard. So when I rewatched it, I'm like, these jokes aren't as funny as like the first time I was watching. I actually like MODOK in that movie. That's a hot take.
No. I loved MODOK too. Like when you and I were rewatching it, I think a few weeks ago, when we saw the MODOK, we were like, just both started dying. Like, especially when Kang just like throws him into the corner. And
it's like, So, I mean, I liked MODOK in that movie. So We talked about this movie a little bit. I want to hear your opinion on it. The Lion King remake, live action remake.
Okay. That kind of gets a little bit into like my top 5 that we're going into later. But I'd probably say like a 6.5.
See,
I can acknowledge that it's good. It's just like it just doesn't really compare to like the original for me.
None of the live action remakes do.
Which is disappointing. I want to see a really good live action, which for me, controversial take maybe is Jungle Book. I liked the live action.
Jungle Book was a good live action. I like Lion King. I think it actually did very well. The original story.
Yeah.
They changed like only a little bit of things, but it's not like crazy things.
I mean, Jon Favreau's just...
he's great.
He's good. Yeah.
So I think he did well. Right. What's your number 2?
Jurassic World.
I know you asked me about this before the podcast too, so I should have started thinking about it. I'd say probably the same thing with Quantumania, 5.56.
So for me, I loved the Jurassic Park movies. I know you said that you kind of had like a little bit of problem like remembering them a little bit.
Yeah, I was never into them really.
I loved them, but with this, I'd probably have to say like a 6.5 for me. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
But at the same time, you can't beat like those 90s.
It was better than I think Jurassic Park 3. I didn't care for Jurassic Park 3 as much.
I really like Jurassic Park 3.
I think the first one, the best of ever, best of them all.
For sure.
2 was okay, it's still pretty good. 3 where they kind of came into like the real world, so I'm like, okay, this is getting kind of like we need to stop it right here. Yeah. This is getting cheesy.
And there's Jurassic World, and then the next Jurassic World, and then
Jurassic World's the only good one out of those 3.
Can I just say that this is a never-ending saga that will keep going on for the rest of our lives because
yeah, and I feel the same way about Fast and the Furious too. Stop.
I should have stopped like a few movies ago.
Okay, Spider-Man 3, Tobey's movie.
Spider-Man 3, that's with
Venom, Sandman.
Oh. Well, I'm a Tobey stan, so like...
It's my most enjoyable out of the 3 Tobey movies. I can actually watch that one and enjoy it.
For me, Spider-Man itself, Spider-Man 1's probably a 10. But Spider-Man 3, I'd probably have to say like an 8.
Oh, okay.
I like it. It's really good.
I mean, I'm like looking back and I'm like, one scene I do want to talk about is the dancing scene. Tobey going through dancing. Yeah. So like people hate on that scene. It's like regarded as one of the worst scenes ever. I saw a video on some guy did, and he was talking about how Tobey's character is a dork. This Peter Parker is a nerd, dork, loser, right?
That's what he's supposed to be.
Exactly. No, this is where I'm going into it. That scene is him finally thinking he's cool, and he's not.
And everyone's still looking at him weird.
Yeah, and he thinks he's the hot shit now, but he's not. I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye. So like he thinks he's hot shit, but he's not. And I think that's like actually it works. Like it works for his character. Like it's funny, looking back at it, but like it makes sense at the same time.
Oh, and like I said, I've said this since the beginning, since we started the podcast. All the actors that play these Spider-Mans are different, and they're different for a reason. Like even in No Way Home, when he's cracking his back, and obviously he's older, right?
Yeah.
But even in No Way Home, I feel like Tobey's still a little bit goofy in that one.
He's still Tobey.
Yeah,
Tom's still Andrew.
Yeah, Tom's still like the little kid.
I do feel like Andrew in No Way Home was given more freedom. Like he kind of was allowed to almost express himself more than he was in his own movies in a way.
Can I say Andrew in No Way Home kind of felt like Batman to me? He was like kind of just like the guy in the corner.
What do you mean? He was a comic relief in that movie.
No, I think he was funny in places, but like he kind of seems like super depressed and like.
Yeah, his freaking girlfriend got.
Have you seen that?
Yes, I saw the clip.
I sent him a TikTok. It was like Andrew doing a backflip, and then as he was like flipping this way,
that's the Gwen's neck snapping. You're so bad. What's your 3?
Spider-Man.
Like the original Tobey movie. 7, 8.
See, that's higher than I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna say it was just like mid.
Probably 7. I would go 7 on it.
7's
my favorite of the Tobey movies. Like out of movie, like watching a movie out of enjoyability where I can actually go back and watch and enjoy the movie, Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Like I think actually Spider-Man and Spider-Man 3 might get the same rating for me, like a 7 area. So, but obviously it didn't make my top 5 Spider-Man movies because those are all 8 to 10.
Yeah. Well, I can also see, newer movies, it's just animation, or not animation, but CGI wise, and like.
And
certain stuff. Yeah,
I just need to be interested, and I just those movies. I don't like Sam Raimi.
Yeah,
that's just where I'm at with that. I want to find your opinion on this because it's not one I'm particularly fond of, and a lot of people do like Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Okay, so I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
Mm-hmm.
I read all the books countless times. I've watched. I actually just got off a Harry Potter binge like this past week. That's all I was watching like at night. I really like Deathly Hallows Part 2. I'd probably have to give it like a 7.5. I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's great.
It's like a 4 for me. I was so bored. Like it
did not. Read all the books though?
No. But I, as a movie person watching it, like I watched all of them in order, like back to back to back to back to back, and I'm like, this story, like sure it wraps up, but it wraps up that quickly. Like
really? Because for me, the only thing that I struggle with going through Deathly Hallows Part 2 is like it feels like it's a little drawn out.
No. So it's literally, that's what I mean. It's drawn out, and then literally they have their battle and the movie ends. Like it's literally drawn out, and then Voldemort and Harry fight.
That's more or less how the book happened, though. Well, I think
more dove into like even if that, then I don't care for the books. Like
I think, well, I mean,
you build up 7-8 movies of this characters.
So the books, like the Deathly Hallows were divided into 2 parts. I don't think they needed to be divided into 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been good if they made it like a slightly longer Harry Potter movie. I know all the Harry Potter movies are already pretty long themselves.
Deathly Hallows Part 1 is, it is so slow.
I love Part 1.
It's so slow.
Dobby's getting shanked.
Yeah, that's the only part that my favorite's Prisoner of Azkaban. That's probably
Prisoner of Azkaban is so good. What about Order of the Phoenix? That's when Sirius dies. He goes through the portal. Or not the portal, but like the...
Oh, you mean Dumbledore? When Dumbledore dies?
No. Order of the Phoenix is not when Dumbledore dies. Dumbledore dies in Half-Blood Prince. Order of the Phoenix is right after...
Didn't Snape die in Part 1 of Deathly Hallows?
No, I'm not saying Snape. It's Sirius. Sirius Black.
Oh, Sirius. I'm thinking Severus.
You said you loved The Prisoner of Azkaban, man. You can't say that you love that movie and not know who Sirius Black is.
No, I mixed up Severus and Sirius. That's where...
And he didn't die. Severus didn't die, Part 1.
I don't like that. I really don't. That's the one with like the professor lady that comes and takes over the school, right? So that was just like...
I liked it. So, see, the problem is like you... And I don't know if you're like a big book guy, but like that's the one thing that really stinks about those movies is that you can only really see the great parts about it if you read all the books.
Yeah.
And honestly, the books are so good. Like if you read the books and you have listened to the script, because I don't know if you're really like a script guy, but like when I read books and then I see the movies, I'd like to see how close it is. Some of the script is like pretty on point.
Yeah.
Like,
which is cool.
Yeah.
That movie was, as a movie watcher standpoint, that movie. That's my least favorite of the Harry Potters.
That's understandable.
I probably would go Prisoner of Azkaban.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would probably go right below it is Goblet of Fire.
Oh, yeah.
And then probably the original Sorcerer's Stone. And then Deathly Hallows Part 2. So that's kind of where I'm at with my level. Below that, I mean, I could care less for the rest of them.
Ooh. Okay.
So.
Okay.
Second one.
Not even Half-Blood Prince?
Half-Blood Prince is
that's when Dumbledore dies.
I know, like. They have their moments. All those movies have their moments, but it's like besides those moments, I don't know. I just kind of that movie. Like it's literally them, like Dumbledore and Harry going on a little adventure the whole movie, right? Like that. It's just kind of like I don't care for this as much as the other movies.
I will say I think those movies ruin future careers for all of those actors.
Yep. The only one that was Emma Watson.
Emma Watson.
All right. No, yeah.
Stone. Bad. Watson.
Yeah, you're good. There's a difference. I think people mix those two up. They mix them up
all the time.
So
yeah,
you're fine. What's your fourth?
Justice League, either cut, and you can rate either cut if you want.
Whedon cut, 2 out of 10. Snyder cut, 7 out of 10. Yeah,
I think that's how big the gap needs to be. Like the gap needs to be that big.
Joss Whedon, I liked his first Avengers movie, but like after that, like I'm like, and what I've heard from behind the scenes of making that movie and like how he was racist towards Cyborg's actor, I forget his name, Ray Fisher, I think is his name, and it's almost like sexist towards Gal Gadot, and like he like that scene where she throws on herself on top of Flash in a way, and like he like checks around, like quickly gets off, or it's like the other way around, I think. But it's like that was forced by Whedon, and she wasn't comfortable doing that, but he made her do it anyways. And it's like, I don't know, I just get weird vibes from how he handled that movie. I'm not the biggest Zack Snyder guy. His slow motion scenes are so annoying to me. Don't get me started on how the Flash runs either. But that movie was okay. It was a bit better, you know, including Darkseid and everything like that. So, but it still wouldn't be, honestly, probably actually a 6 for that movie, not a 7. I would probably rather watch a lot more movies than watch. It's so long. It's a very long movie. My 5th one, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. So, Qui-Gon, Darth Maul, young Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Probably have to give it like 6.5.
Okay.
I think it's good. I'm not the biggest fan of it.
I'd say I'm probably 5. I think it's mid.
I wish you would have seen so much more of Darth Maul.
I think it's Qui-Gon's probably one of my favorite.
And Qui-Gon, well, here's the thing. I watch Star Wars theories all the time, and stories would have been completely different if Qui-Gon would have stayed alive. Like, Anakin wouldn't have turned.
When he came back in Kenobi, bro.
Yeah.
Like, because Qui-Gon, I'll tell you, literally my top 5 Jedi right now. Yoda is my 1. I don't know why. I just love always grown up loving Yoda. He's the best. Luke is 2. Mm-hmm. Obi-Wan at 3. Qui-Gon at 4. And then Anakin as a Jedi at 5.
Mine goes Anakin as a Jedi, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and then Darth Vader.
That's not Jedi.
Well, I don't think he has. I mean, he can be seen as a Jedi. He turned at the end and came back.
I just want to point out, Luke Skywalker
is shit. I hate Luke. Luke is like just a fucking bitch. That's all I'm saying, bro. Fuck Luke.
Wow.
I think, here's my thing, and I think my opinion of him changed because of the 3 new movies. I think if we would have stuck with George Lucas and seen
those movies don't exist. Don't talk to me about those movies.
Those movies would have been way better, and you would have seen...
The movies do not exist. They never happened. That's not the Luke that Mark Hamill wanted to play. He was forced to play that Luke. Don't give me that. Give me Luke, those 3 movies in The Mandalorian and Boba Fett. That's my Luke. I don't give a crap about the rest of those movies.
Okay, whatever.
So you're counting those 3 movies in as a Luke story?
Which ones?
Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and
Skywalker Saga.
The OG trilogy. You say that Luke's still bad?
He's all right.
He's not top 5?
No.
He literally is, okay, you know, we're not, this is
Are you kidding me? There were so many other Jedis that would just bitch slap him, bro.
You think Luke is not one of the most powerful Jedis of all time?
By like Empire Strikes Back, yeah. But when he's starting out, you think he would have had any competition against any of the other Jedi?
No, but any Jedi starting out is not.
Oh, honestly, I also forgot Mace Windu. Mace Windu is definitely above Luke.
Oh my gosh, Daniel. He's literally the start of it all. He literally is the first Jedi. What do you want from him?
Luke?
Luke Skywalker. The OG
Luke Skywalker is not the first Jedi. If you look at that, you're funny.
So what movie came out first? I just want to ask you, what movie came out first?
That trilogy came out, but it's episode 4, 5, 6.
Well, no shit, Sherlock, but I'm talking about when people were getting introduced to Star Wars.
You're telling me peak Anakin doesn't beat Luke?
No. Luke Skywalker. Are you talking episode 6, Luke Skywalker?
Episode 6?
Yes.
Yeah, I think peak Anakin Jedi beats him. 100%. You want to see more arguments like these? Patreon / the Superhero Brother.
I can't with you after that one. What's your 5?
Batman vs. Superman.
Batman vs. Superman is terrible. It's a 1.
No, I thought it was okay.
No.
I thought it was like a 5.
You can't say it was okay and then shit on Ben Affleck's Batman all the time.
Okay, I shit on it, but I love Henry Cavill as Superman.
Cavill's Superman's terrible.
I love him as Superman.
He's a good actor, but he's got terrible writing to back.
I just love how this Star Wars take this fucking.
It's just throwing me off. It's so.
I guarantee you, in the comments, I get a lot of people on my side.
that Luke Skywalker isn't a good Jedi.
I never said he wasn't a good Jedi. I don't think he's my top 5 or top 6 or top 7.
We'll see.
8.
You know, thank you for giving us a clip on
9.
TikTok, so I appreciate it.
So I do you, baby.
That's a reference there. This or that now.
Alrighty.
My first one, Minecraft or Roblox?
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Minecraft's the GOAT.
all the generations below are going to go
No,
Roblox. But I did grow up on a bit of Roblox, but nothing compares to Minecraft.
Minecraft was probably the first video game I actually played.
First video game I played too. What's your next? What's your first?
Marvel or your girlfriend?
Girlfriend. I'm not thinking about it. That was
that one moment. That one moment. If you're watching this,
she is gonna watch this. Still, my girlfriend. I'm picking my girlfriend over Marvel. You're trying to get me in trouble, Danny. I see you over there. We also kind of realized this pod is running a bit long, so we're going to film our hot takes for the Patreon.
Yep.
So
if you want to see those,
go to our Patreon
/ the Superhero Bro Show.
The Superhero Bro Show. But we're going to finish off with this or that trivia and top 5. Okay. And we're going to kind of get through it as quick as possible because we realize we're running a bit long. So maybe I'll just do 2 this or that's this week. Okay. What's your first this or that?
Already asked. Marvel or your girlfriend?
Oh, that's right. I did mine too. Sorry. Catherine threw me off. My next one, Spider-Man 2099 or The Spot? Which was like The Spot.
100%. I think he's going to have more of an impact.
Mm-hmm. I think they're both good villains in that movie, though.
Although the theory with...
I like the Prowler and being possibly a Prowler version of 2099 that took over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and injecting himself with, like, spider powers.
That'd be crazy.
It's a good theory, I think, but...
Hurricane or a snowstorm? Because we've experienced both.
So we used to live in Flagstaff, so we ran through snowstorms, and right now we're getting hit with Hurricane Hillary.
Yep.
Snowstorm? Because you can stay inside.
And we still had to dig out my car. And it was hard.
Hurricane Hillary, I mean, like, or hurricanes in general can tear up a house compared to, like, a snowstorm where just, you're stuck inside.
Yeah.
So I would have to say snowstorm. We'll just get out the last there so that we don't do it this week. Maybe save it next week. You have trivia we need to run through real quick.
Alrighty. So what's the longest Disney film? And what's the new longest animated film?
New longest animated film is Across the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Old animated film.
And I'm talking like, it's OG. But what's the longest Disney animated film?
Longest Disney animated film. And you said it's OG? It's like a hint in a way?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What drags? What movie just drags? I'm trying to think. I don't think I'm going to get this one, to be honest. All the old ones, I feel like were very quick because they were all...
Yeah, but there's one that's like... I mean, of course I don't know. My mom has a giant... Like, her stomach's just tatted up with this movie.
Oh, I do not know. I'm just going to have to guess because I have no clue. I don't think I know this one as much, but I'm going to go... You know what? I got the question right because I got one of the parts of the right.
No, you got a 0.5.
0.5 of it. I'm going to go Winnie the Pooh.
No. It was Fantasia.
Okay.
So the reason why it's so long is because it's like a collection of like movies, but they made it into one movie.
I've never seen Fantasia, so I couldn't tell you.
I hated it. So yeah, I would not recommend it. What does... And this is, okay, the last 2 questions are Ted Lasso questions because I love it.
Yeah, he's been getting into it. I'll spoil it for you.
What does Ted think tea tastes like?
Garbage brown water. Or brown garbage water.
It was hot brown water.
He also calls it garbage.
Yeah, so. He also calls it garbage. Yep, so here, you got that right.
Okay.
What is Coach Beard's first name?
It's said literally one time in the show. Oh my gosh, it's in the season. It's in the finale of the whole show too.
Yeah, so I don't even know it. So.
Oh my gosh. I want to say William, but I cannot. Dude, that's a good one. That's like, I'm going to say William.
So I'm going to be honest, when I looked up this question, the answer it gave me was no one knows. Because, like, it's mentioned one time.
No, it is said.
No, that's what I'm saying. But it said no one knows because it's mentioned one time, and, like, it's just so hard to pick out.
That was probably made before the finale came out. And I can't. You know what? I'm gonna have my computer here. We're gonna give you the right answer right now.
Alrighty.
Coach Beard's real name is Willis. I was close to William, so
I'll give it to you.
Willis. Okay.
And then that was the last question I had.
Okay. You know, quick little trivia.
Yeah.
We need to run through it, so
Yeah.
it works out actually. Top 5.
Final segment, right?
Yep.
Top 5.
Top 5 Disney animated films.
And we're doing this. Why? Because people decided to call us pedophiles on our first podcast.
When we did Pixar top 5, we got called pedophiles. Check under the table. Make sure their ankle bracelets are. It's so bad, but
Alright.
we grew up on these movies.
Yeah, no, these are like just because we're like turned 19 today.
Happy birthday!
But thank you.
I need to go. Oh my gosh! Last time I went to the Funko Pop store before our trip yesterday, I got Daniel a Funko Pop to start his collection. Not thinking we were gonna go yesterday. I got you something for your birthday.
Okay.
Here is your Jared Leto Joker Funko Pop.
Oh, that's the one I was looking
I know. I was like, please don't buy it.
Let's go.
I totally forgot
Sick.
until you said that.
Okay, can I just say, just to fill you guys in, yesterday when we were at the Funko Pop store, I
Shack in Vegas. If you're ever there, go check it out.
amazing, so much stuff in there. I saw the Jared Leto Joker and I was like, should I get that? And you were just like,
nah.
yeah, you're like, nah, I don't know. It's just,
It's not that.
yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna say that because I hate his Joker. But I saw that when I went there. I'm like, yeah,
Dude, let's go.
When I was going there, I was like, I need to get Danny a birthday present. It's his birthday on that podcast. I want to get him something, right? So when I was going there, I'm like, imagine they had like Jared Leto's Joker, like as a joke, you know? They're not gonna have it.
Yeah.
Who has that as a Funko Pop? They had it.
Yeah.
So I was like,
what's crazy is like it was like, so typically at the Funko Pop store it was like, so like the discount table was like $6 to like $10, and then like the average one was what, like $12. And the Jared Leto one I wanted to buy, but another reason why I didn't want to buy was because it was like $20.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like,
it's a different version of it. You looked at the suit one that's got the purple
no, that's the one I love it.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah, no problem.
All right,
Top 5 Disney animated films.
start with number 5.
Number 5, mine is Moana.
Okay,
I like that movie.
That's a good movie.
It's a good animated movie.
Yep.
I didn't watch it until like it came out. Like when Disney Plus first came out is when I first watched it. And I love Hey. I love it's fun. It's a fun movie. Like
my number 5, Big Hero 6.
Okay.
I love that movie to death.
Yep.
Like Baymax, bro. Just the story. It has you like on the edge of your seat the entire time.
You know it's a Marvel movie?
Is it?
It's a Marvel comic. It's Stanley makes a cameo in that movie at the end credit scene. It's a Marvel movie.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, they're actually the old ones are more serious, like comics. You might actually like it if you start Big Hero 6 comics.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's cool. Yeah. My number 4. This is one I thought maybe make your list because we're boys. You might not get much princess movies out of me, like if I'm honest. But my 4, not a princess movie. I'm just kind of saying you probably won't get much of it. My 4 is Bolt.
Bolt. Yeah, for me it was a good movie, but it doesn't quite crack the top 5.
No, Bolt's give me a superhero movie as a dog, like that's awesome.
And then like he thinks he's a superhero, but then he's
story. Like it's something different, you know. Like that's what I like. Like princess movies kind of get get the same thing over and over again, unless it's something different. Which I do have a princess movie in my top 3 with a bit different. So
my number 4 is Meet the Robinsons.
That's one. That's actually I think would be my number 6. So right below my list too.
I love that movie to death. My mom.
Crazy story too.
To like the time travel.
Actually,
he finds out that the family he's with is his family and his wife.
That movie actually handles time travel better than a lot of time travel movies. I would have to say, like with him being the dad secretly, you know, that's such a cool twist. Like as a kid too, you're like, whoa, like you don't see it coming until the end, and it's. Even though there's hints that when you're watching it back, there's hints the whole time.
The entire time.
But yeah, it's a really good movie. I understand why it makes your top 5. My 3 is the Disney movie, the only princess movie besides, like, if you count Moana as a princess movie, Tangled. And number 3.
That's a good movie.
Rapunzel, Flynn Rider. It's Natalie's literally, besides Ratatouille, my girlfriend's favorite Disney movie, and she watches all the time, and I'm okay with it because I actually liked that movie before I was ever in a relationship with her. I'm like, that's totally fine with me.
Yeah.
It makes the story of Rapunzel like different in a way, and it works. Like you get Pascal, you get Maximus, like all the animals are cool in that movie. So I really like Tangled.
Yeah. For me, my number 3, and is Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
That's my number 3. I love it. Love the music, love just the entire story. I'd be interested to see it as a live action, but we were talking about this yesterday. It'd be kind of hard because it'd be
like The Lion King.
Yeah, and I don't know how that would fit. So I love that movie. It's an amazing movie.
For me, I never grew up on it. Like, I don't think, and just kind of watching it back, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't interest me as much. Like, it won't be like bottom tier Disney movies, but it wouldn't be, my top 100%. Disney movies. So this is, I think, I'm going to be real with you. Maybe it changes when we get into our top 2, but this is one of our more civil top 5s, I think we've had.
100%. Yeah.
We're actually like, okay, we got some of our the same page here. My number 2 is The Lion King.
Okay.
So let me talk about this movie. I am a film teacher at the school I work at. I hadn't watched The Lion King since I was a little child, besides the live action remake when that came out. So I rewatched this about 4 or 5 times in class with my kids when we were talking about plot and story, the hero's journey that Simba goes through. I watched this movie again. I'm like, holy shit. This movie is good.
Good.
Like, this is top tier Disney. Like, I'm rewatching the music, Simba's character arc in that movie. It's Mufasa. Dude. Dad? Oh my Dad. Scar as a villain.
Scar.
The hyena. Everything really, it's a great animated movie. It'd probably be, after rewatching it, like after growing up and rewatching it, top 5 animated movies, like in general.
Yeah.
Is it in your top 2, I'm guessing, too? Maybe?
Yep.
Okay.
So my number 2 is Aladdin.
Okay. See, I really like Aladdin. Robin Williams, in my opinion, carries that movie.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace. Yeah. He carries that movie for me. I couldn't get by much of the rest of it. Music's good. I actually really like the live action remake of Aladdin.
The live action?
Fun.
I know that's a hot take because a lot of people weren't like the biggest fan, but I think it's just a fun, different take. But you can't, for me, Will Smith did a good job, but you just can't replace Robin
I will say
Williams.
Never Had a Friend Like Me in the live action, I would say is better than the that they're getting down in that scene in the live action. I literally had it in my playlist that, and I don't put Disney songs on my playlist.
Yeah.
It's fun. The rest of it, animated holds the cake over, right? But I actually enjoyed like the live action remake of Aladdin. So I get why it would make your top 5. Just personally, it's the same thing like Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
It's not going to be top.
It's good, but it's not also like, not like you wouldn't want it, like not want to watch it.
So obviously we could follow up because we know you're number 1 now because we already talked about it. What's your number 1?
Lion King.
Yeah.
It's just so OP. I think it was like not one of the first Disney movies that I saw, but it's just like one of my favorites. It's the ones that always stuck with me. Just the whole story, because I've been super close with my dad, right?
Yeah.
My dad and I are the closest. And so it's like a story of a father and a son, and like,
dude, it hits home. I was rewatching. I'm like, dude, this movie's emotional. Like, I didn't expect it to be emotional. It's emotional.
Yeah.
So, I rewatched it. I know it was gonna happen because it's a famous story, right? But I was still like, the kids were watching it, like glued to the screen. But there I am for the 4th time watching it today because I have multiple classes watching it. And I'm like what? Yeah. I was hooked on it. I'm like, this is actually really good. And then I rewatched the live action. That's when I'm like, I was actually surprised that usually the live action sucks, but it's actually pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate. And I mean, it's just Favreau. He's amazing.
And the CGI is really good in that movie too. My number 1. Can you guess what my number 1 is? I want to see if you can guess.
Well, is it like animation or is it drama?
This is the movie. I'll give you a hint. This movie I saw in theaters more than any other movie of all time. I saw this movie 8 times in theaters.
Is it like live action or is it?
It's a Disney animated movie.
Oh, Disney animated, yeah.
8 times in theaters.
Ollie?
No,
that's Pixar. Yep.
On your top 5.
It's on my top 5.
Yep.
Is it Big Hero 6?
It is Big Hero 6.
Okay.
Holy crap. This movie is literally top 15 superhero movies of all time.
Yeah.
This movie is one of the best animated movies of all time, if not the best animated movie of all time. People don't like this movie a lot. Like, they really don't like this movie. For me, knowing it was a Marvel movie and stuff, our character hero, his character arc in it, after his brother's death, meeting Baymax, having this anger and revenge towards the professor who ends up being the bad guy, right? Mm-hmm. What a crazy twist, by the way.
No, like I never saw that coming.
As a kid, I'm like, and the 8th time watching it, I'm like, so like, this movie was so good, and Baymax is hilarious. Yeah. We jumped out a window. I was telling him yesterday, I'm like, I want a Baymax Funko Pop.
Yeah.
And I don't think he caught on to it, but it's literally my favorite Disney animated movie.
I'm just glad we both had it, because yesterday when we're driving either to or back from Vegas, you and I were kind of having a conversation, not what our top 5 was, but that we had a feeling our top 5s we wouldn't agree.
Yeah, we actually.
But I feel like this is probably the most chill top 5 we've had.
And Big Hero 6.
I can see that.
Natalie doesn't like. My girlfriend doesn't like this one because she's all princess probably for her top 5. She grew up on princess movies though, so I mean I understand where she's coming from. And this is a boy Disney movie. Let's be honest.
100%.
It's a boy Disney movie.
And I will say that when I saw this in theater, because I also saw it in theaters, I think I saw it probably like 2 or 3 times. And for me, it's hard for me to watch movies in theaters over and over again. I like watching them at home. I saw this movie 2 or 3 times, and I will say it made me feel like finally, finally a movie for us.
Yeah, that might be why I like it too. Yeah. It's a Marvel animated movie. The villain's really cool with the nanobots and everything. So it was just a really cool story. And I will tell you, we talked about this before in the podcast. I don't cry during movies. Yeah, I don't. It's simply like I don't know what it is. It doesn't happen. Even though I was just rewatching Guardians and I finally almost teared up to Rocket, not yet. I'm like, oh. But besides that, I don't cry in movies. The first time watching this movie in theaters, when Baymax puts his fist onto the rocket and launches away, bawling my eyes out. Yeah. And that was the one. That's at least the last time I remember crying in a movie.
So I'm a crier, but I cried during that scene and even to this day, I'll still tear up when I see it because I'm like.
And now he comes back, so it loses that emotional value to me rewatching it. But still, that doesn't.
It doesn't because it's like a new Baymax, even though he has
Groot is another one. Guardians, he dies. That's a new Groot we're getting in these new stories, so it still hits home with that, with him rubbing away Rocket's tear and everything. No, he says.
Well, we are
Groot. Yeah,
and then.
But I can't say enough about Big Hero 6. I will literally sit here and talk another hour about Big Hero 6 alone.
If you want to see another hour about Big Hero 6,
you want to watch the movie with us.
Oh, true. Because we're gonna do that is something we want to do. We want to have a movie nights now that we have the same schedule.
We would have a Discord for you guys to join us on the Patreon, and maybe even not the Patreon, just kind of do it for fun for you guys, where you guys come in, we get some fans in, and they watch the podcast with us. Yeah. So, yeah.
Alrighty.
That was fun. Thank you for a good episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
Patreon.
Superhero Bro Show.
And then also, really important, please go support us on the new podcast TikTok we have. We're going to be posting all of our podcast clips there.
And that is also the Superhero Bro Show.
The Superhero Bro Show.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yep. All right.
Thank you guys for watching.
Peace.
Peace.